Got into cycling 3 or 4 years ago after I'd done a marathon. I started buying road bikes. I wanted to go faster and I wanted to do new challenges. So sitting on a bike for 15 hours and going uphill is something I haven't done before, and not many people have, and that's what's led me to doing this Everesting thing. The other thing is my day job. I work at Only Connect, which is an amazing charity, and Everesting was a perfect opportunity for me to raise awareness. The simple concept is climbing the height of Mount Everest on a bike in one sitting, and it has to be done in a series of hill repeats.
Swain's Lane is a massively challenging climb, and it's really famous amongst the cycling fraternity. It's incredibly atmospheric, and with its 18% gradient, there's no way out. You have to produce a huge amount of energy to get to the top. So it can't be argued this is in any way a straightforward or easy exercise. A complete loop takes about 6 minutes at a moderate pace. With about 140 reps needed to complete the challenge, it should be doable in 12 to 17 hours. But 5 hours is a big range, so anything could happen in that time.
The first few hours we went off way too fast.
He was a little angered, and that really drove him to want to do it in a time frame that was better than anybody had achieved.
The climb is so notorious that people had attempted it before, but when I began training for it, nobody had succeeded. As it seemed with all these things though, somebody went and did it the week before, which is really gutting.
All right.
It's impressive what those guys did, and it's good to know it's possible. But once someone has claimed a hill, you can't claim it again. You go on the Hall of Fame, but you're definitely second pickings. So nothing makes my ride different if the time is not faster. So getting a better time is paramount. You know, otherwise I'm just another guy riding the lane a week later.
It stirred him up and gave him motivation, but it also gave him some stress. There was no question in my mind that this was a crazy pace. As the event wore on, he settled down and got into a better rhythm. The heart rate came down, and there was a bit more plausibility to completing.
In the first 2 hours, we were on track to finish within 12 hours, which is just ridiculous. And thankfully, we didn't continue with that strategy. At the halfway point, we got off the bikes. We'd done just over 4,000 meters of climbing, which is about 65 odd laps of Swain's Lane. It was such a great milestone.
Circa halfway was 102 miles and 5,000 meters of elevation. One of the toughest stages of the tour would cover that sort of distance, that sort of climbing elevation, and we were halfway. And that's where the magnitude of it starts to kick in.
The legs were feeling pretty sore, so it was going to be a rough forthcoming 8 hours. It was great to see so many people showing up, and the support of fellow club riders made all the difference, especially as I was starting to go a bit funny with 100 laps under my belt. People were kind of looking after my sanity, really. There were times when new guys were joining, trying to pace me, and I think I was just finding it a little bit hard to keep up as I had been at the start of the day. The descent was just getting harder and harder because there was more and more traffic. I was getting more and more tired. A lot of braking, a lot of surprise. And that was the scariest bit, a couple of near misses. People talk about the last 2,000 odd meters as the test zone. It was a pretty tough time because you're far enough from the end to want it, but it's still within reach, and it's still another challenge to kind of focus your mind on. The fuzziest experience was on lap 100, 102. The feeling was, this is done. You know, the back of this is broken. I'm ready to pack it all in and go home. I had to get guys to kind of pick me up and chat to me and give me food and just keep me occupied.
As you get into that zone, it's just hanging on. That's the only way I think you can describe it. You could see that it was just about sheer determination and mental resolve that was fueling his ride.
Doing the same thing over and over for 14 hours is not a particularly comfortable experience. That was the feeling. It wasn't real pain, but it was real discomfort. You need to set up little pick-me-ups and thoughts that really motivate you to get to the end. And I was seeing some of my colleagues and thinking about what did they do every day, and that was the reason why I was really spurred on to finish. There was nothing that was going to get in the way of raising awareness for Only Connect. So having reached 8,848 metres of elevation, we decided to crack on for another 3 or 4 laps just to make sure that it was all properly registered on the GPS system, which was the best bit actually. It felt like a real triumph and it was almost like a set of victory laps.
Never again.
How are you feeling?
Knowledge. Very happy, very knackered. Happy we went so hard at the start. The second half was horrible.
What up, fella?
Oh God, is it a dark place? The toughest thing is just like staying awake and going up that 20% incline 130 times. It was great getting off the bike and feeling a sense of accomplishment. Being surrounded by great people and great support made all the difference. It's a tough old challenge. You have to have real conviction and a real understanding of what you can do and why you want to do it. And finishing stuff is great, after anticipation of trepidation. It's just an amazing feeling.